So we're going to be focusing on orders. Before we do, so let's go to the cart builder. Now, something to remember is out of all of these vendors, US Foods, Red Bull, and Bonanza are going to be our main distributors, our main vendors. If we're going to go to the vendors right here, and so you can see these are all the different vendors. So if I go to US Foods, I'm going to scroll down. Right down here, it has some reminders and notes. So it has a note on what the ordering cadence is and what delivery days, what they deliver. So if you ever forget, like, oh gosh, I can't remember which day we order, what do we place our orders, go to the vendors column. It's going to tell you exactly what to do. The thing with US Foods is in the notes section, it says $1,100 is the preferred minimum to get vendor rebates. In winter season, only one order should be placed per week. Clicking the place order button at the checkout screen will not place your order. This is manually done on the US Moxie app or on the iPad or desktop. Speak with Carson and Talon on ordering strategy. So we'll kind of talk about that because we're going to be placing a US Foods order. Let's go ahead and do an example together. So this is our South Reno location. And what you're going to do is once you're done counting, you're going to scroll down to the bottom. You'll see the finish count button. Now, don't get freaked out. You're going to see that red rectangle. It's always going to be like that. That's just saying that there's 7 items with negative usage. So what you're going to do now is you are going to finish the count. And then for the count name, you're just going to put your first name. So that way we can keep track of who is doing the inventories. So we're going to put Sydney. Save and finish. And now you're going to get this chart. It's a bar graph, and it's just kind of a good sign to kind of look and see if there's any mistakes that could have been made when you're doing your count. We're just going through and just inspecting anything, making sure we don't have any weird numbers. So everything seems to look good. We want to make sure that the unit measures are correct. There's been times when you're counting cups in the production area and you might have it switch to cases instead of each. So everything looks good. We're going to go back to the cart builder. And so we're going to scroll down to US Foods. So how it's going to work is we have the inventory column and then there's the par column. If your inventory is under the par, we're going to add it to fill the par. So we're going to skip pizza boxes because that's out of season right now, but almond milk, it's below the par. Right here, we do have the option to purchase bananas through US Foods. We're going to actually wait on ordering bananas from them because Bonanza is our main distributor for produce. If you cannot meet the order minimum for Bonanza, what you need to do is order produce items through US Foods as a backup. The only dilemma is US Foods does not carry wheatgrass. As a solution, you can always reach out in the manager's group chat and see if anyone can spare a flat of wheatgrass until your next order. Once we see that check mark, then that means we're finished. Let's go ahead and see our cup carriers. We're below the par, so let's go ahead and add it. Apple, all the juices look good. It's like right there, Apple, it's like we're right on the par. You could probably get away with just ordering a case, just to be safe. Nothing wrong with that. It's shelf stabled. All right, Hershey's chocolate, let's go ahead and add one. Bavarian pretzels, pizza pretzels. There we go. That's all we're doing. So if we're below the par, we're going to add to fill that so we could get that check mark under number to par. Lids, okay, we could probably wait for the next order, but it doesn't hurt to have a little extra. Since it is the winter season, we do hear, managers, I think they have the right intention, since it is slower, they want to cut back on the ordering. One thing that I will say about this is there's nothing wrong with staying stocked up with your freezer items and cups. What's happened in the past is, we could get like a really bad snowstorm and the deliveries can show up late or they might be postponed. And so if you're really pushing your inventory and like you're on the brink of running out, that uh, could be bad. And so, it doesn't hurt to just stay stocked up on those items. And definitely with produce, we need to scale back on that. So we went ahead, added everything that we needed to the cart. So now what we're going to do is we're going to view our cart. This is everything that we have. We're going to hit review. And then right here, this is everything that's in our cart. It does not matter if you hit place new order or record. So it does not matter. So we're just going to go ahead and hit place order. All it's going to do is we're going to get an email. So since we posted that, we're going to go ahead and log on to US Foods. We're going to make sure we are under the correct location, which is South Reno. I'm going to hit create order. Now on the top right, there's that little search bar where it says search catalog. There shouldn't ever be a reason to search for an item. Everything will be under our list. You'll see it says my list on the top middle of the screen. If you are going to search catalog, I would advise staying away from doing this because there's been times where we've ordered the wrong item. And if we're not careful or paying attention, you could accidentally order an item that is a direct shipped item. And US Foods does charge us shipping for those items, so that can be very costly. We want to keep this process super simple. All you need to do is just follow our Keva weekly shopping list, and you will be just fine. So, but there's the search bar on the bottom left. That search bar is you're searching up the items that are in our inventory sheet right here that we're going off of. So all we're doing is we're just manually entering in our order. I know this process might seem a little tedious. Some advice that I have is you can pull this order sheet up on the computer and then have the iPad right next to you. And that way you have two screens that are helping you get through this process right here. Okay, so we are almost done. All we're going to do is we're just going to double check our work, make sure everything's correct. You might notice that the pricing is different between BevSpot and US Foods. That is because US Foods, they change their pricing based on time of year. There's other factors, but I'm not going to get into it. And then we're actually going to go ahead and hit submit order. And then that's that. That's how you place a US Foods order. Let's take a look at Red Bull. So right here is all of our reps, has the delivery days. It will tell you at the checkout screen, click the place order button to email the reps our order. If you missed the cutoff, message Carson and Talon. Do not over order on Red Bull. Red Bull is a high theft item. So when we get to the checkout screen, you want to make sure that you hit place order. Now here are these two buttons, place order and record order. If we hit place order, it's going to email these reps right here, and we're actually going to place an order. They're going to deliver it the next day. Now this button is to record order. The Red Bull driver, we were able to get an order, but however, we did not log it or place it on BevSpot. So for our record, we want to make sure that we're intaking this inventory, because when we start talking about our inventory reports, it's going to show that we're over a case of regular and watermelon. So all we're going to do is we can just switch this date, the time. So he came in about 9:18. We're going to hit record. And then we have to make sure, so today's the 5th. We need to go in and make sure that the date is changed to the 5th. So what's going to happen is at 12 p.m. on November 5th, BevSpot's going to receive that inventory for us. for example, if I go to inventory, expected inventory, I'm going to search Red Bull, and boom, right here. So expected delivery, so it shows that our starting count was 147 cans plus 24, so we just got a delivery on the November 5th. We sold about minus 49, so our standing inventory right now is we should have 122 cans of Red Bull in the store. So really important. Try not to get those mixed up. You know, if you ever kind of forget, like, oh, do I place order or do I record order? Just go to your vendor notes right down here. It will tell you to place order. Basically, the way that Bonanza works is you can actually order Bonanza any day of the week except for the weekends. If we're going to place an order on BevSpot, it needs to be placed on Mondays and Thursdays before 2 p.m. Because what happens is when we submit our order, it's going to get sent to Jane, our rep. And then, however, if you can actually manually enter your order on the Bonanza website. Let me show you how to order off of Bonanza. On the store iPad, you will have access to the login, which will have the username and password saved. We're going to hit place order. We're going to have that it's going to be delivered for Monday. And what we're going to do is we're going to order extra bananas because Spanish Springs next door is all out of bananas, and a manager is in store to place that order. So we're going to go ahead and help each other out. And you may have to make sure you actually hit submit order. There's a lot of screens that pop up. To keep our records organized, I'm just going to copy the order number. Let's go ahead and record it on BevSpot. So we're ordering 4 cases of bananas. We're going to view our cart. All right, looks good. We're ordering 4 cases of bananas. I'm going to hit, okay, so right here, if you hit place order, it is going to email Jane. She's our rep. What we want to do is we want to record, since we already placed it on the Bonanza website. If you hit place order, it is going to double order, which we do not want. We'll have 8 cases of bananas. Here's a photo because this actually happened. We accidentally placed an order on Bonanza website, but we accidentally hit place order on BevSpot. So we did get a double order. So something to keep in mind. There we go. We can put the order number where it says invoice. That way it keeps things organized. And there's that. I'm going to show you one more thing. If you go to inventory history, on the top there will be a button that says record transfer. So all we're going to do is we'll hit from Sparks to Spanish Springs. There's bananas. We're going to add 4 cases of bananas. Now that I'm seeing this, we should actually be changing 2. So I'm going to go back and fix this. We're going to leave a little note on the bottom saying that I did this transfer. And, you know, during the winter season, it is all we're trying to do is we're trying to help each other out and make sure that we're not over ordering on produce because it is perishable and it can be very costly. And that right there is how you do a transfer. Our last example are going to be for the vendor's special order and anything else besides US Foods, Bonanza, and Red Bull. So this includes Amazon, Sam's Club, Instacart. We're going to be ordering 12 cans of the pumpkin for our season special. You know, it's a good idea to leave a little note, just a little extra communication doesn't hurt. So on this one, we're saying we're down to our last can, thank you. So that way we know it's urgent. Now, if you hit the record order button, we will not be notified on this. So you really want to make sure that you hit place new order and it will send us an email. And one thing that we do strongly encourage is placing all of your special orders all at once. We do not physically check our emails every day. Now, the reason why you want to place your special orders after your inventory is because it can be very difficult for the executive team to be checking their email throughout the day. We are very busy. We're out in the fields. We could be doing other projects like events, any other stuff. So we're not always on our laptop. So please, if it is urgent, you can always shoot us a message. But otherwise, place all of your orders after your inventory so that way we're not getting multiple orders throughout the week. All right, team, thank you for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Taylor and myself, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the stores.